Hi there, welcome to CBD and Essential Oil Talk Radio with Marc and Nikki, where we talk about realistic and fun ways to have a healthy family life and how CBD and essential oils fit right in. Coming up on the show today, I'm going to talk about new research suggesting that CBD can block fear-related memories from forming after a traumatic event. Now, this is new research. I've said before that because basically people can get hemp now easily because of the hemp laws are a lot more open, that more studies are going to be coming out. It's going to be, the intensity of the studies is going to be really cool over the next few years. So this is another study in that area that I want to talk about. So what do you got coming up?
You know what? Today I'm going to talk about stress. It seems like everybody I know deals with this. And I'm going to talk about my top 5 coping skills for stress.
I think everybody deals with stress.
Everything.
Why?
We'll find that out.
This past weekend, so we had this major event.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure when this podcast will air because we've got them stacked up. But so we had a big event here in San Antonio and lots of folks there. But we're intricately involved in that.
Yes.
And it was stressful. But you did an amazing job, of course, as you always do.
Thank you.
All right, so we're at La Taza Java Coffee House for today's podcast. We like to get out into the community, see what's going on, and have a chat. A quick note for folks out there interested in getting started with a premium CBD oil. Go with the brand that Nikki and I personally use and trust, Young Living. Text the word CBD to 210-910-4174, and we'll get the information sent right to your phone. And you'll get a link if you want to get a starter kit. Get the kit. You save like over $100 on CBD product by getting this kit. It's a phenomenal value. And it comes with essential oil infused CBD drops, which is awesome. An amazing roll-on infused with lavender, vetiver, ylang-ylang, and other essential oils. This is different than the other stuff you find out there on the market. And a powerful muscle rub infused with peppermint, helichrysum, wintergreen, and some other popular essential oils that are amazing for a muscle rub. So text the word CBD to 210-910-4174. You want to get the information sent right to your phone. You really can't get any easier to that. And if you get a kit using this link, then you'll get a personal invitation to join our essential oil and CBD community where you can connect with us and continue to learn lots of ways to use essential oils and more information, education from us. So text the word CBD to 210-910-4174, and we'll get that information sent right out to you. All right, Nikki, so let's talk stress.
Stress. Did you know every living thing is... I can't even talk. I'm under stress. Has the ability to stress out. Everything.
Even kids?
Yeah.
They get stressed?
Even plants. Even little fishies in the sea.
Oh.
They all stress out at some point in their life.
So plants too. I hadn't really thought about that.
Think
But that's
about
a good
plant.
point.
Why is that plant turning brown leaf? Too much water? Is it under stress? Not enough sun? What's going on here?
Or if you yell at it.
Yeah.
You've seen those studies, right? If you yell at a plant or if you put loving language towards a plant, it thrives. It sounds like BS to me, but whatever.
I wonder, we should play music in our greenhouse.
Oh.
In the marijuana
Like what kind
section.
of music?
I'm just kidding. This is lovely marijuana. This is mean marijuana.
AC/DC,
but we know that's
maybe.
a hemp plant.
Sure.
We're familiar.
Right.
All right. So most Americans are suffering from moderate to high stress, with 44% reporting that their stress levels have increased over the last 5 years.
Okay.
But mine have increased over the last 5 minutes.
Right? I think every time we sit down to do a podcast with me, you're like, Mark, you're stressing me out.
You're stressing me out. All right. So here's my top 5. Are you ready? Top 5 things to help me cope with stress. Chocolate, 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 and more chocolate.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. So I definitely encourage you to take care of yourself by eating healthy, right? So eating a healthy, well-balanced meal actually does help with your stress levels.
So like on a regular basis,
On a regular
right?
basis, yeah. And then when it comes to eating, I know like this time of year, everybody's made those New Year's resolutions. Stop stressing out over it, okay? You ate chocolate, big friggin' deal.
Yep.
You ate an extra taco. Who cares? Get over it. Stop stressing out. All right, number 2, talk to others. Just getting out and talking to my friends, my family, my mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even a stranger. Sometimes it's nice to just have a conversation.
Yeah, because there's no baggage there, right? It's like, hey, how you doing? Nice day. Okay, it's easy conversation.
It is. Or even your pastor. Somebody that you look up to and you're like, I bet this guy or gal has some really good resources for me.
Sure.
I mean, they're kind of close to the guy upstairs. So, yeah. So that's my advice. Always talking to people about your problem. Nobody likes that.
Well, having positive conversations, right?
Positive conversations.
Yeah,
but more than likely, they've experienced the same thing, right? Like moms talking to moms about kids. Because that brings me most of my stress is going to be the kids in my life that I love so much, but they stress me out. But when I go talk to other moms, they're like, "Oh, girl, let me tell you how I handle this," or "Here's what we did in that situation."
Or you think you got problems?
Exactly.
Mine's in jail.
Right. All right. And then number 3 is just take a break, right? So when I feel myself reaching burnout or getting too caught up in whatever I'm doing, it's like, you know what? I'm going to take a break. I'm going to shut off the computer, shut off whatever it is that's stressing me out.
Your husband.
Stop talking. Just kidding. Right? And get out and go take a walk. Get some fresh air. Get some of that vitamin D. Even at night. You're not going to get vitamin D at night, but unless you're
I like
taking it by
this
pill.
one. My wife and I do this. We go out, we take our walks and in a nice area, and it's just something, sunlight, fresh air, a little bit of exercise, you know what I mean? Nothing too stressful, but a little bit of exercise.
There you go. I like that. And then number 4, I know it sounds pretty obvious here, but just breathe, right? So something for me I like to do is get my favorite essential oil, put it in my hands. So that's peppermint and orange together. Those are my 2 that just kind of relieve my stress. That's my personal testimony on that. Put a couple drops in my hand of each and just breathe it in. 3 deep breaths, and that really helps me to, I guess, reset my mindset, and just say, okay, just calm, just relax, and then go get some chocolate. I don't know. But then positive thinking. Think of positive thoughts or good memories. Like if you're having a bad time or you're just stressed out, like, oh my gosh, well, remember that time that we played basketball and I beat you? That was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, just think of something fun, or holding your baby, or, walking the dog. I don't know.
Having a conversation with somebody who really is positive and uplifting, those are good friends to have around.
Absolutely.
So that you can kind of support each other when it's necessary. So was that your 5th one? I don't want to jump in the middle, but I wanted to add about,
see why I'm stressed, right, guys?
CBD a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah, that is my 5th one. Those are just common things that a lot of people do, and it's not just me that does this. When you look at a chart, like if you go and Google top 5 things, these typically come up. At least 4 of them do.
Yeah, and so I'll give a couple of my ideas on that too. So if like different personality types. So I'm introverted on a level, right? I mean, I'm extroverted, and I can go on stage in front of thousands of people. Doesn't bother me, right?
Right.
But how I recover from that is that's my introverted personality. I like to be by myself, right? So just having something that I do by myself, some seclusion, that kind of a thing,
that's
can be
creepy. I'm just kidding.
No, but it helps
it's
with
true.
recovery. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm the same exact way. I just want to be by myself. And just this morning, I was like, oh man, just my husband go to work, the kids go to school. Yes, I have 5 minutes to myself.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that opportunity this weekend to go away.
And that can be stressful.
Because when mom's home, mom is mom. I'm not any other person at home other than mom.
Yeah.
Which is how it is.
One of the things I talked about at the beginning of the deal there is with the CBD, and there's this calm roll-on, right? It's got I think was it frankincense? It's got
it has
lavender,
vetiver, it has
and
cedarwood.
vetiver, cedarwood. Yeah, so it's got some really, really good oils that are known for really helping promote calmness. Absolutely. So I would recommend everybody that I've talked to that has smelled that. Love it. I haven't found anybody yet that doesn't love that smell. And they don't just say, yeah, I like it or whatever. They say, no, I love the smell of that. So it's a great combination. So, and CBD, which I'll talk about here in a bit, is just really helps support that endocannabinoid system, and which deals with stress.
And calming nerves. Before I went up on stage this past Saturday, I kind of did a little double dose of my normal CBD, what I would normally take. And I think I did pretty well.
Yeah, you did.
I was able to manage my nervousness, not really stress, but nervousness.
Yeah, you got there's an award that Young Living has called the 5x5 Award. One particular area, reach, right? And it has to do with, helping reach the world with this message of, essential oils, CBD, plant oils for health, that kind of stuff. And you're recognized by one of the vice presidents of Young Living.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was cool. That was a special moment there. So
yeah, and you know what I said? Thank you. That's all I could say. I couldn't. I was like, I don't even know what to say here.
Well, at least you didn't say meow meow.
Right. Exactly.
That would have been weird.
Yeah.
That was a great speech that Greg Larson gave too. He's that guy. He really knows how to connect with people on almost an individual basis, right? It's like he's talking to you, not talking to a crowd. So his speech was really, really good.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was a great weekend.
I was honored to get that.
Yeah. Well, you deserve it.
Yeah, it doesn't take
I'm
much.
sure.
I'm sure it doesn't take much to get it. You're next. I'm just kidding.
Whatever. Yeah, next. Whoever's next in line, right? All right, a quick word from our sponsor for this show is the San Antonio Empowerment Council, who has an all-day essential oil and CBD event coming up on Saturday, April 4th. The keynote speaker is going to be Dr. Peter Minke. Now, this guy holds a PhD in molecular cell biology and has a wealth of experience in how essential oils interact with our body chemistry. This is going to be a learning experience that is exceptional, right? We had an exceptional learning experience this past weekend. I would say that this one's going to be right in there as well. So it's an amazing event that people in this area, in the San Antonio area, have been asking for some time, and the San Antonio Empowerment Council is making it happen. So for folks who can't come to the local event, you're going to be able to watch it live online. So just keep an eye out for the tickets. They're not available yet, but they're going to be coming. You can check it out at saecevents.com. That's saecevents.com, and look for your ticket opportunities there. So whether you want to come local or watch online, it'll be there for you. All right, so new research suggesting that CBD can block fear-related memories from forming after a traumatic event. Okay, so CBD is gaining support as a preventive strategy to protect against damage from traumatic brain injury. But a recent study suggests it may also help in preventing the long-term devastation from severe psychological trauma. So scientists in Brazil conducted a study with rats to ascertain CBD's impact on memory of traumatic events and found that CBD, which was injected directly into the hippocampus, right? So they're trying to speed the whole process up, right? Immediately after the event, impaired the rat's memory of the event. Now, so what they're doing is they're doing like these shock treatments, right? Okay. So they're freaking the rat out. So they're associating, this event, right, the memory with this shock that's going on, and they'll avoid it. Well, if the rat goes right back to it and gets shocked again, that means that the memory's been impaired. They didn't remember that this is a bad thing to do. Right. Okay. So they're actually impairing that memory. So, however, people don't usually have access to preventive treatments in the moment, right, immediately following a traumatic event, let alone being injected in the brain, right? So scientists therefore sought to identify the time frame by which CBD treatments could be effective. So CBD's benefits were only observed at 1 hour, but not 3 hours after the event. So within an hour or so of this traumatic event, then you can have some effect, right? So the studies being conducted suggest that CBD may help prevent the development of PTSD by impairing the memory of traumatic or stressful events. So they also extend support for CBD's potential value as a preventive strategy for high-risk activities such as military combat, right? So now just imagine you have combat folks that are using CBD, for example, right? Because it's obviously from the cannabis plant, using CBD on a regular basis. And then when they engage in these events, they're able to process them better. This is the direction that I think that this is going to be going. However, the benefit extends beyond the military, as nearly 7% of the population experience PTSD symptoms for non-combat related issues such as vehicle accidents and domestic violence. So folks who are in, high stress situations, I mean, you were just talking about, dealing with a stressful situation over the past weekend, right, with this event. Well, you're using CBD. It helps you not only handle that situation while it's going on, but it helps in the recovery of that situation after. That's the whole thing I think that this whole direction is going in. So a lot of really cool stuff coming out with respect to CBD cannabis use as a plant, but they're going to learn a tremendous amount. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a great idea. So what I hear you're saying is traumatic incident within 1 hour, take CBD? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, this is where the study is showing.
Could you just poke me right here with that needle? Right, it's not like that. Brain. But just taking it in.
See, what I think that the direction that they're going is that, using cannabis, right, on a regular basis can help in this. So if like combat, right? If you're going to be going into a combat situation, that the use of some kind of cannabis product, right, that they'll figure out. CBD is one of the most well-known, and it's being studied as well in this area, and it has benefit. So I'll just use it as an example. So using CBD before going into a combat situation.
In combat situation could be, hey, I'm going to go see my ex-husband about, talking about the
child
kids
custody or whatever. Yeah.
Yes. That could totally be combat.
Yeah. So you're able to, and this is where the research is going, is that you're able to actually engage in that situation without peaking in your stress, and then you're able to recover from that and not have this traumatic incident that you keep recycling in your head over and over. That's what PTSD basically is. You can't get rid of that vision, that stressful situation out of your head. So this is really, really positive. I'm excited about where this is going to lead. So, and the other thing I want to talk about today is cannabis and migraine relief. So there are lots of folks out there suffering from migraine headaches. So this is a November 2019 study.
Oh, just within 3 months.
A couple of months ago, right? Studied in the Journal of Pain, reported that cannabis use could reduce migraine and headache severity by 50%. And although tolerance can increase, right, cannabis use does not exacerbate the headaches or the migraines over time. This can be problematic with people on medications,
That's right.
Yeah. So concentrated cannabis products such as CBD appear to offer more significant relief than the use of cannabis flower, right? Like smoking it, kind of a thing, right? So how does it work? This is important to me. So it works on migraines via the endocannabinoid system, which is something that I teach on. So there's mounting evidence that the endocannabinoid system can directly reduce migraine pain when activated by naturally produced cannabinoids taken by patients. Okay, cannabis can help reduce inflammation in the protective dura mater tissue that covering the brain and minimize the release of pro-inflammatory substances. So we're talking about reducing inflammation, right? Both of those, right, the pro-inflammatory substances and this inflammation of the protective dura mater tissue contribute to migraine headaches. So one cause of chronic migraines is anandamide deficiency, right? That's the bliss molecule. This is, you mentioned chocolate a few times. That triggers anandamide in the body. That's why people like chocolate. It's a feel-good chocolate, right? All right. So anandamide is one of two cannabinoids produced naturally in the brain and is associated with reduced inflammation and activation of pain centers in the brain. So when you feel the onset of a migraine, when should you dose, right? When should you do something about it? Right, exactly. No, that's exactly right. Common sense would say the sooner the better, right? So according to Dr. Deborah Kimless, MD, cannabis may be most effective when the signs of an impending migraine first become apparent. So also cannabis may work as a preventative treatment for migraines because the triggers and symptoms of migraines are so varied. So cannabis may be an ideal migraine medication with its diverse compounds and widespread roles in many of the issues associated with migraines. So it's potential anti-inflammatory agent, analgesic, and antiemetic. Furthermore, CBD is known as an anxiety reducer, which we know that.
Yes, absolutely.
Its presence could be useful in the treatment of stress-induced migraines, which goes right back to what you were talking about earlier, and using CBD before you went up on stage to do your thing. But you know that from doing it. You've experienced, you've been in this situation before, you've used it, you've had benefit, so you know what you're doing. And that's really, people just kind of get in the habit of that. Okay, like you did, I'm going to take 2 doses.
Right.
Kind of a situation. So,
and you know what? It doesn't make me feel any different as a person. Does that make sense?
Right. You don't feel high. You don't feel weird.
Exactly. I just feel calm and like, okay, I got it done.
You don't get the munchies.
Before with the alcohol, that was no good.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Nikki, why'd you fall off the stage? I don't know. I don't remember.
You get a lot of complaints about that.
Yeah, so I like that. But now that you talk about going into stressful situations, such as we talked about going to a lawyer's office or something like that,
right.
People do that all the time. So what a huge benefit this could be.
Yep.
Just, I work things out in my mind as you're talking. I'm like, man, I could really use that. My daughter is 8 years old and she takes CBD on a daily basis. And I do that for her, not really anxiousness, but for her hyperactivity in school.
Okay.
Right. She's an amazing student. She's a great student. But how about going, when we're going to go to the dentist? Maybe that could be a traumatic experience for someone.
Sure.
So maybe that's a little extra dose for her on that day.
Especially if the dentist finds some pain or something, right?
Right.
That goes right back to the test with the rats, right? They're like, I don't want to go over there because of the pain.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Kind of get in front of that.
I like it. So I know I gave you my top 5 coping skills, but when I had looked online at the top 10, I'm going to give you the others that are in there that stood out for me. So it's just screaming, just flat out putting your stuff down and screaming as loud as you can. Now, I don't think they'd appreciate that here in the restaurant and in the coffee shop today, because you've heard of that where they're like, and then like tension breaker, right? They break the tension. It really does something to your endorphins in your body. Just a loud scream. And then punching something, right? Come here. Come a little closer, Mark. Right? Punching, that's not cool. But even punching a pillow,
so
a punching
these are violent.
bag. Well, it's a way that people cope with stress. That's not how I cope with stress. And then cuddling and hugging.
Oh,
Just
okay.
so
Well,
you're
now
"Come
we're
here. Bring it on in." And then last but not least, playing with puppies.
Oh, well, sure. And kittens.
That'll release your stress.
Yeah.
There you go. So I thought I'd share that as well.
So this is something interesting too. Is the so singing, right?
Oh,
Singing and music affect the endocannabinoid system, which helps regulate the body's response to stress. So again, screaming seems a bit, erratic, but
Do it. I triple dog
maybe
dare
so.
you.
So anyway, maybe that's why people scream a lot. I don't know what to do. Anyway, so I hope this was useful for you guys out there. I think people suffering from stress and migraines, hey, there's a lot of information in this episode for you guys to take a look at and maybe find some hope. So as a quick reminder, if you're looking to add high-quality essential oils to your home, trust the company that Nikki and I personally use and recommend, Young Living Essential Oils. It's a farming company that oversees the entire essential oil process from farming the plants, distilling the oils, testing, bottling, delivery, and world-class customer service. So they handle the whole thing. If you're interested in learning more about essential oils and the company that we trust, text the word oils to 210-910-4174, and we'll get the information sent right to your phone. All right, as we wrap up the show, quick reminder to check out our latest podcast on all the usual podcast platforms, and be sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, where we post videos of the show. Sometimes it's fun to watch those shows on video if you got the time. Don't watch while you drive, though. Listen to the podcast.
Yes, please don't, because then you'll be screaming, punching.
Maybe so. So there are links to everything you need to know in the details below, or you can check our website at eotalkradio.com. That's going to be it for us. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Bye, guys.